And welcome everyone to another episode of Rolls to Astonish. We are
Ah.
another episode of Stranger Wonderland. I am your host, as always, Steven. I am playing Sarah Sparrow, our resident occultist. Joining me today is once again of the creator of Wonderland and Jags, as well as our resident GM, Marco.
Hi there. Thank you.
Also joining me is Haley.
I don't nearly have the energy to be crazy.
Playing Jules.
Jules, our little bully, aka the girl that seems to be trying to become the devil without even actually realizing it, pretty much. Sorry, this is about as much enthusiasm as I can conjure up. I'm a tired girl.
Also joining us is Zach.
Hello. I'm playing the skater kid, I guess.
Yep.
Trying to be the literal good moral compass, I guess.
You're the angel to Jules' devil.
And that is Russell.
Yep.
And last but not least is
Eric.
Right.
Vasily.
Playing Vasily, the loudmouth kid of Russian descent.
Whose dad may or may not be involved with the mafia. We still haven't confirmed yet.
Pretty much definitely, but he's hoping that nobody else can see it.
That's becoming more and more obvious as time passes.
Yeah.
Especially
Pretty much
from
every time we interact with, yeah.
I found my mouse. I'm so happy.
Okay. So last time we didn't get the recording to work, unfortunately.
Yep. So why don't you guys give us a recap of what's going on?
Oh boy, who wants to start?
I'll do it. If nobody else will.
It's more trying to remember.
So
I remember we talked to Mr. Smiley and got a buttload of information.
So the characters were the guy they're calling Mr. Smiley is apparently infected by Wonderland, possessed maybe by something that coded as a large shark down in one of the lower realms, but in the upper realm it codes similarly in that he has multiple rows of jagged teeth now.
So you were saying that Mr. Smiley is Daddy Shark?
Well,
Yes.
And so they were concerned that as he, perhaps becomes more powerful, he could be the spark that sets off the thing now occurring in 4 days.
The shark that becomes the killer Shamu space whale.
Well, whatever. Yeah, that becomes. So they thought maybe if they went down below, they would at least have their twisting capabilities to maybe deal with them. So they got the disc. They went to Mr. Harris's house. He is Mr. Harris's partner, or was before he got consumed. And using the zip drive, because he's the only person they knew of who had a zip drive. Remember, this is 1995. They plugged it in and tried to descend to green time, but wound up getting stuck in red time, which they had seen it very briefly before, which was on fire. Now stuck in red time for 3 hours because the computer had shut down, save for a countdown clock. They were in the house that was a ruin, and they could see fires outside. The sky overhead was covered with ash, with a low-hanging cloud of ash overhead, blotting out everything. Lights were sporadic. Lots of things were glowing or, seemed to have been burnt and retained some of the fire. And there was a truck that was filled, that had...
Slug people!
It had people who looked grayed out, like a menu item you couldn't select. And it had 2 drivers, which were greenish-yellow slug people wearing World War I style German helmets, carrying
slug people,
some kind of rifle, like a musket in their flippery, sluggy hands. They kind of stood upright, or partially upright, with eye stalks, and they were spreading out looking for things, looking for survivors. So,
and if I recall correctly, we had Mr. Harrison play decoy while the rest of us just went, "Hey, look out, fuckers!" As Jules continually tried, failed the first few times to ram one of them, eventually hit, while the other two were basically doing distance shots with fireballs and whatever the hell Vasily was doing. I still don't know. The whole electric
lightning.
thing and that.
I was shooting electricity out of my horns. And then I ran up to the guy and actually hit him with my horns.
I use finger guns that shoot fireballs. I'm so proud of myself.
So, when you killed them, something interesting happened. They dissolved into twist points, which you guys absorbed for 3 extra.
Now we're like, okay, this creates a whole new morality. Let's find more blob guys.
I've got explosives.
Well, you didn't. What you did was you decided to go to Ox Industries, so you drove around. There was a checkpoint at a bridge that had more of the slug things and something that looked like a larger than human praying mantis type thing that you just saw in the dark. It was wearing a hat. Anyway,
And Jules proved her driving skills and went through that shit.
Yes, you slammed through it in the flatbed truck they had, scattering the cars that they had used to block the way in confusion and people. And then tried to find your way to Ox Industries. It turns out that in your neighborhood, when it's completely blown to shit, it's harder to navigate in the dark, without any lights than you might think. So there was a bit of getting lost. You went past a bowling alley that seemed to have some normal people alive and holed up there, with SUVs parked directly in front of the doors, blocking them, and people lookouts on top. You waved as you went by, recognizing one of them.
It was very interesting.
And then,
going insane.
Saying we recognized them, but they probably didn't recognize us.
And then you
probably would recognize me, if anything.
Well, yeah, right. They were not likely to make you. Then you got to Ox Industries, which had only one car parked in the parking lot and had been damaged. The radar dish on top was collapsed. One of the towers was sheared off, but it was still standing, and the main body of the building intact. And under the overhang was Mr. Smiley. Walking around over this area was something mountain-sized, a humanoid mountain.
You a space Shamu.
You could only see its feet and legs. The rest of it was lost above the dark, low-hanging cloud of smoke. But this thing would be skyscraper-sized, or possibly even taller. When it stepped, the ground shook for kilometers around, and it seemed you couldn't really see where it stepped, but it seemed like his feet, sunk into the ground substantially. But it was kind of following you. It turned out you could see it sort of moving in the general, if winding, direction where you guys had been. And this is what Mr. Smiley told you. That's the abomination. That's the big whale thing that you saw down in the lower chessboards. And it wasn't inhabiting him. He was inhabiting something comparatively quite small. It was, in fact, it had been called by, it had determined it had found its host.
And we figured out who it was, and Jules was right!
And the
I remember now!
The female preacher in the devotion.
Miss Birch Lady, that is the reason Jules is noped right out of the church. Like, nope.
Yeah,
and she doesn't want to go back, but we might have to. I remember now. Damn it.
And what he said was that in a few days, your time, she or some agent of hers or something manages to get down to the lower levels where she merges with the abomination. Whether or not she knows this is what she wants to do or not is unclear, but they're calling to each other. And the way to merge with it, there's something called the Well, which is what Ox Industries created that seems to have sparked this whole thing. The Well is the open conduit. If you can...
Ox Oxford Industries, I believe.
Yes, it's in Ox Industries.
We know the general area where it's at, but we don't know specifically where. But we're going to figure it out.
They said the controls were. He said the controls were up here. So where I'm clicking on the screen, so that's where he looked. The device, whatever whatever it is somewhere else. This is a pretty big complex if you look at it from above. It's a fairly big building, but anyway, yeah. So it's and there's underground stuff too. So wherever the well is, but the controls are up here. He said that if you could shut it and shut it down, then they can't merge. It needs the conduit to get up.
Honestly, now that I think about it, I think I got an idea of why that disc was so important for Miss Birchley to get. That's probably the key.
Well, it certainly.
Or at least a part of maybe trying to get the process started, and we pretty much got a hold of it.
Right.
So if we break.
Well, I don't think breaking is going to do much because this is still happening no matter what. So she finds a way around it, but.
You think, I mean, you don't know exactly how this works, but you suspect that just having the disc alone wouldn't do it, and maybe if you're inside the building, you don't need the disc. But having the disc would certainly be good.
Helpful.
Well, they wanted the disc. It thinks. I mean, maybe if you break the disc and she gets inside, it doesn't matter. If she can get to the controls, the disc is meaningless. But anyway, and he also said that you guys were fierce, maybe not fierce enough to just take her on.
Yeah, hell no.
But
Jules ain't even going to do that shit.
But you guys are fierce, and might be able to affect a change in your time. And he also noted that you had eaten. That big fish eats smaller fish.
Our twist points.
Yes, alluding to the idea that you fed and got stronger. So, anyway, at this point, with the thing stomping around, your time down here in red time ran out. You came back into reality.
Blue time.
Yeah, blue time, correct. And the computer itself seems to now be non-functional. So that's where we left. Mr. Harris is alive and fine, but he's traumatized isn't the right word, but he's like emotionally wiped out. He's he's slumped in the chair. He's shell-shocked, mind-boggled.
A little bit drunk.
Yeah, definitely a bit drunk. One of the things that happened was when he went down with you, when he underwent descent, what you were dealing with not exactly him. It was his shadow or reflection. He, whatever makes him him, was locked in a box at this time in the bunker where you visited. So the thing that you had there was a shadow of him that was a bit more effective. So
yeah, as Sarah pointed out before, we actually had to fight the little suckers that were trying to get at us.
Yeah, he was more than willing to be a distraction, which worked to get them to move by you, which allowed you to hit them easily from behind. So this is the end of Sunday night, and it is now fairly late. You guys have a few options. You are supposed to go visit Ox Industries tomorrow, since the teacher had set up a field trip at somebody's behest. I think it was... My
behest.
At Sarah's behest, yeah.
She is a diplomat.
So, well, you'd have gone in there and buttered her up, and she, had thought that going to a high-tech place seemed, and also she wants to cement her control of the computer club, which she took over. You also thought that moving around in there might be difficult, and I gave you guys, I think it was 4 CPs, which you could use to buy skills, like, for example, lockpick or security, if you could find a way to learn them.
You gave us additional CPs on top of the ones that we got for combat stuff?
Yeah, you got, I think it was 2 CPs, but the point being that you could pick up a skill or something. You could try continued hacking, although it's late Sunday night. There's probably a limit to what you can do. You had also thought about going to see the cyberpunks. The three cyberpunks who had made the initial bet with you. One of them's missing, and you saw the other one looking for him, and they took off. Him and the girl Alice took off in disgust because they couldn't find their friend. And they weren't sure what happened, and they were definitely feeling a little scared. And you saw Mr. Smiley chasing them, following them, shadowing them.
And now that we know Mr. Smiley was on our side, it's just a matter of what the hell happened to the punks.
I don't know that he's on the side of not the world burning, but that may be different from.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily our side.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't want the world to burn either, do we?
Oh no, we have the same goal, but that doesn't mean that he wouldn't eat a kid.
He'd eat us and him.
And I think
eat a child.
Didn't the punks weren't they the ones who exposed him?
Actually,
I'm wrong about that, but
you don't think so.
They certainly weren't sympathetic. So whatever happened, he if the host creature still cares or is still in some way influenced by, or the parasite creature is influenced by the host, I wouldn't assume that anyone he got his hands on would come to a good end.
So could I potentially bump my occult knowledge up to expert?
You can, yeah, I'd allow that. By the way, the other thing is he did say he wouldn't eat you. Either.
Oh, fine.
In this
Only
time,
because Harris.
well, because you were some of Mr. Harris's favorites.
Sure.
So he,
Doesn't mean he wouldn't if we weren't.
well, he very well might if you weren't. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since he would apparently get your power if he ate you.
So
I'm
what
not
you're
gonna
saying?
so
What you're saying is we should eat him.
You could try.
Let's
Maybe not yet.
not do that.
Maybe not yet.
But maybe we need his power in order to fight the big thing.
I wouldn't say that. He's relatively small compared to that thing too.
Still.
He's barely
Still.
bigger than us.
Still.
Well, you don't think you can fight the big thing. I mean, all the twists in the book don't add up to something the size of a mountain. But there's other players who have, okay, so you're bumping it up. You had thought about going to go see Alice, and if she was still alive and in the world, you might be able to get her to teach you lockpick.
Yes, that was the plan.
Although it is kind of late. Like I'm gonna say it's past 11 o'clock. It's a little past 11. So you guys will need to figure out whatever. Okay, so what do you guys want to do? You guys are in Mr. Harris's house. He is on the couch, on a very threadbare secondhand couch in the computer room. The computer is non-functional. Don't know what's wrong with it, but you have recovered the disk. And he is just crashed out with his head leaned back with the bottle of vodka that he brought in one hand.
Whoa, now
still-
that we know what we know, what the fuck is our next move? Because evidently we're running out of time.
So also we got twist points, right?
3.
3 twist points. Let me see. What am I up to now?
I already invested mine.
I did too.
I
I can actually make use of my throwing skill now.
I think I'm still saving just a little bit more. Then I'll almost have enough for the last thing I want.
considered that, but then I saw something that caught my eye, and I'm just like, yes. So
You know what?
I'm saying now because,
well,
this probably won't be noticed until the next time we descend, but Jules is going to look even more like a demon.
So let's see. 3.
You gonna tell us what you got?
Eyes of hate.
Mm.
So she's got a pair of glowing red eyes above her own.
Damn it, I'm 1 short. No, wait. 3 short. 3 short.
If I could get wings, I would have. but
I need
it
three.
costs a little bit too much.
I need 3 more points.
Hey, give me worms. Come here.
I'm
So,
gonna
what's
rule
the,
that,
what's the
I'm,
plan?
I'm going to rule that each one you kill gives 4 points because I don't want to penalize Stephen for not having been here. So anyway,
Wait, what?
Wait.
if you kill one more of those things, you'll each get. For each one of those things, everybody in your crew will get a point.
A murdering we go. A murdering we go.
Well,
No, sir, you go back here.
well
Don't go
you,
slaughtering.
The idea that we improve physically when we murder enemies, and that I don't think has been adequately explored in philosophy and ethics.
Yeah.
See, it may not have been explored in philosophy or ethics, but has been explored in occult, and that's what Sarah cares about.
Video games.
She's not.
Alright.
She's not much one for. She's an intellectual. She's not a philosopher.
Anyway. Next move. What the hell are we doing? Because evidently we got a couple different ways we can go about this. And either way, it's going to be a while. We are very quickly running out of time, so we need to make a choice now.
Well, we're going to Ox Industries anyway.
you guys can just go ahead and do that. That's a legitimate. You want to get in there. She has something lined up. You don't know if it's going to go smoothly, but it seems like it seems like it could. So, all right.
I think we will rather than getting arrested trying to break in Sunday night, we will go with school tomorrow.
Yeah. So you guys sleep.
Nice.
You guys go home. So there's you're
Feel
Jules-
the death glare from my sister.
your mother is very concerned. She does feel like you hanging out with your friends was good, and she blames the cult. She thinks she thinks they tried to do something to you.
Oh yeah, no shit, Mom, no shit.
Well, she doesn't. But anyway, she's like, we're never going back there. And if I see any of those people around, I'm calling the cops. So.
Thank you. Finally, she grew a brain cell.
Yeah, well, no,
Jules in the back of her mind, just like, thank you. Finally, you actually take my words for the truth. Thank you.
Yeah, she seems to. Well, the you being absolutely panicked seems to have done it. Russell, when you get home, your sister wants to talk to you.
Oh boy.
That's what it was about me, bitch.
She wants to get you, kind of by yourself. Not in a abduction style way, but I guess you
Not in a Jules way.
You come in late, and your mom is still up, and she's very annoyed with you, but because it's like 11:35 or something, and but you come in and seem okay, and she's she lectures you briefly and then tells you to go brush your teeth and
apologize.
stuff. Yeah, so yeah, she's not furious. And when you kind of come out of the bathroom after having brushed your teeth and stuff, your sister's there. And she says, "What are you guys into? Don't lie to me. I know it's something."
I blink. What are you talking about? Just blink.
She says, "You guys are into something, and it's heavy, and you're not prepared for it."
Sis, I don't know what exactly you're trying to get at, but
her eyes are hard and steely. She knows something, or she thinks she knows something.
She don't know shit.
sis, is this just one of your imaginary things where you think I'm up to something, but I never really am? Because this feels very familiar, like the 70 other times.
She says, "I know that you guys took a bet with those people.
Those punks of the cyber variety.
That would be like her.
She doesn't know the. She
No.
doesn't
You mean
know the name,
jagoffs who don't know how to dress? Yes.
And she says, so I know. And she says, and
Go on.
I know
Go
that
on.
they're looking
What do
for
you know, sis?
and that somebody who's up to no good is looking for you too. So, unless you want me to go around and call everybody's parents, tell me what you're doing.
All right, you won't believe me for a second.
You really won't.
All right. All right, sis, pull up a chair. This is going to be a long talk.
She's interesting. So yeah, she does pull up a chair.
All right,
She goes with you to your room and you sit down. She kind of folds her arms because she knows you're going to lie to her.
All right. You know, you can suspend your disbelief for a little while. At least make yourself comfortable. Let loose your arms. Come on, stop giving me a judgmental look. I haven't even told you anything yet.
She says, I'm giving you the judgmental look until you tell me something that I don't think is a lie. So let's have it.
All right, fine. Now, where to begin? Well, sis, if I'm honest, the past couple days have been odd. And I don't think I'm quite in my right mind, honestly.
She kind of nods at that, but it's not the kind of, yes, he's crazy nod. No, it's not, it's not an insult and it's not flippant. You don't exactly, it's kind of a weird, like, it confirms something. Anyway.
Lately, I've just been feeling paranoid, and being around my friends helps with that. I feel like stalking me, someone's following me, and it better not be you.
She says, what are they selling you?
Selling me?
What are they selling you?
Hear me?
She says, I know Alice sells weed.
You think I'm going to them and fucking smoking pot? Are you fucking kidding?
She gives you this don't be naive look, and she says, that might work with Mom, but it doesn't work with me. I know what those guys do.
Sis, the only way I'm ever going to be able to tell the truth in your eyes is if I fall into your perfect little story in which you can convict me. Because if you're not even going to take me seriously, not even give me a chance to explain myself, and already assume things, then you're out of your damn mind and get out of my room.
She
Ooh.
Yeah, she kind of backs up at that. And by the way, you don't have to use skills here. You're doing fine. But if you want to stick the dismount and you have a particular skill, you can roll for it. You don't have to. So she that response kind of puts her back, and she says, well, if she kind of holds her hands up, she says, if they are selling you stuff,
they're not. You're not even giving me a chance to explain.
And she says, okay, well, I know Alice says, okay, go ahead. You feel like you're being stalked. It's not by me.
It's strange. Just seems like I'm being watched at every corner. It's even there was a car following us at one point. Following us around. We were just kind of going about our business. It was just, it's scary, sis.
Uh-oh. I hear kiddo.
Uh-oh.
I don't know how to, I have to make a whole new account, Leo. I can't do it.
The real life aggro is coming.
Alright, go ahead, guys. Go ahead. Nintendo is the devil's underwear when it comes to linking their accounts and stuff.
I see.
Okay, so you tell her that you're feeling paranoid, and when you vociferously deny being on drugs or having purchased drugs. Okay. And she says, "Well, do you want to tell Mom?"
And what's Mom gonna do?
Well, get you
She's gonna
checked
keep
out.
just like you, and you know it.
And she says she can get you checked out if you really feel paranoid, like you're being followed or watched. Then she considers. She stands up. She says, "I'm going to believe you. I
For the
know
first time in your
that
life.
Alice was looking for you guys, and not in a good way. You, that Jules girl, who probably is buying weed from her."
Hey,
Hey, fuck off!
And
leave Jules out of this.
she
She isn't
is
doing
that Russian kid. So I know that she's
Vasili's fine too. You're so
and she's
suspicious.
there. She was looking for you, and that is not good. So if she's scared too, I think you better consider telling somebody, some grown up. And anyway, she stops at the door, but she seems mollified for now. She's convinced and backed off
Thank God.
without. Although she did cast some aspersions in the direction of Jules, and she retreats. So Vasily, what do you do?
I will go home and I get home out before I go inside. Does it look like there's anyone at the house?
It does. You see a rental van, like it's a hard side van, the kind of thing that you might use for a church group.
A church group.
Like a 10-seater van.
Yeah, no. Well, you could use.
No,
it.
Not the devotion.
I'm just wondering about that particular.
It's a fairly big vehicle.
Large van, yeah. Do I have any sense of who might, any idea of who this might be?
Well,
my father's associate says showing up with club vans.
That's no, you don't. Unless there were several of them.
Right. Well, I'm going to go and. Are they in the front? I walk up to the front of the house. Are they in the front of the house? Are they in the front room? Are the lights on?
The lights are on.
And then when I look into the living room, do tracksuits?
You see a couple of people. They're not in the living room. They are off diagonally in the kitchen, sitting around the table. There's 5. One guy's standing with his arms folded. They're not all wearing tracksuits. Some of them are wearing these kind of polyester leisure suits.
Not an improvement.
No, it's not really an improvement. And your father looks over, a little startled by the door opening. And then he says, "Oh," and he says in Russian, "It is the boy." And he stands up. The mood there is a thunderhead. And he, not necessarily just his mood, but all of these guys. And there's bottles of alcohol on the table, but they're not doing the uproarious laughter, slapping each other on the back, making loud pronunciations in Russian. And he comes over to you.
Yeah, I look, a bit. I'm just like.
And he stops.
Hello, Father.
He says, "Is my shirt?"
I'm sorry, your shirt?
he reaches out with his fingers.
No, this is my shirt.
he looks at you.
I want one just like it.
He says, if wearing it is your shirt. Did you take my marker? A bottle. Spray bottle.
I was looking for a cigarette lighter. I thought it was a cigarette lighter.
It was
Normally,
not a cigarette lighter.
I say, no, I figured that out. I here, hold on. I've got it here somewhere. Right here. I hand it back to him.
He looks it over. He doesn't really care too much about it, although apparently he cared about it being missing.
Yeah.
He says,
I figure if it wasn't me, then they might go to DEF CON, nothing, because somebody was in his house, and I don't want that.
Yeah, that seems to have mollified him. He pauses for a few more minutes, and then he says, I have a cousin in Kiev.
Oh, well,
I think I'm going to send you and your mother to stay with them for a few days.
okay, well, that's not happening, but I just nod and I say, that sounds very wonderful, Father.
He says, school will be okay. I'll see to it. Now, go ahead, get some sleep. Try not to come down here.
I will manage.
There is some serious talk.
When would we be leaving for Kiev?
You would be leaving perhaps in a couple of days.
Oh, I'll be dead, or it won't matter by then, I think. Okay. Good night, everyone.
They all look at you with these cold, bullet-like eyes. And one of them finally nods like a...
noche! I go upstairs.
Like a person who's forgotten his line in a play and then suddenly remembers supposed to nod when you say that.
Yeah.
You go upstairs. Your mother is sleeping the sleep of a handful of Valiums.
We'll see if I can. I will walk around upstairs so that they can, if they're paying any attention, they'll hear me, walk to the bathroom and then walk to the bedroom. But then I will. Let's see if I have any.
Those intentionally heavy steps is just boom, boom, boom.
No, I don't overdo it. I just walk normally, but old house and creaks. I don't have stealth.
But you have 2 CP, so you could buy it.
I could. I guess I will buy some stealth and see if I can. I've probably been sneaky all my life, so I'm just coming into my own. Give me 1 second here while I look for the skill.
All right, and yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to be doing. I'm debating right now whether to take my 2 CPs, well, 3 technically, because I had 1 saved from when I took up street fighting. If I should invest them in hacker, or if I should go for the lockpicking.
I've done security systems. I'm professional in it, so. And I put some of my leftover stuff into stealth, so hurrah.
So standard not linked for 2 CPs. My absolutely best skill
It's now stealth.
my whole life is stealth, apparently, which is not probably that was what I mastered first. So I will. So flash roll 46. Play 16, blowing it by 3. And there's no 6s.
Ew.
I have I'm trying to find my books for school. Backpack and a book. When they hear me, I will have a story that's not just me loitering and listening.
Okay, you come down the stairs. And you pause on the staircase. I roll a 13, which doesn't make anybody's perception roll, especially not under their current conditions.
They're far too drunk.
What's that?
They're far too drunk.
Well, they're little bit.
They're not blotto, but
No, they're not. No, they're definitely not. They're definitely not so drunk that they are. No, they're still pretty. Pretty. So anyway, yeah. The 1 second. So it's hard for you to figure out what they're talking about because they're in the middle of a conversation, which doesn't make it, easy. But and they're not. They seem to have done most of the talking, and now they're just gloomy. And one of them is who you don't know is saying, we track him back to the hotel. He shakes his head. I think he ran.
do I think after listening that they're talking about the guy who disappeared?
Yes. He says, well, why would he run? He's loyal. Don't know. He's scared. One of them says. One of the other ones is like, no. He says, yes. He's scared. Oh, no. No. They're dismissing the idea that this guy was even possibly scared. And they seem to regard his vanishing as both a very bad sign and potential disaster.
Well, I think that they're probably dead on.
And your father finally says, my son thought he knows them. He looks back in the direction of where you are. You have to duck back. He says, and they're kind of like, no, no way. He says, yes, that's what he thought. No. One of them says, that's it. We cannot afford to wait. We make an example of this Haskell. We go now. We go tomorrow.
Who is Haskell? Do I know?
Harkel, Monsieur Harkel is who you met in the playground. One of the men.
One of the messieurs. Okay. Good luck with that.
They all seem to agree. He says, we get him, we call them, we tell them we want to make deal. Your father says, if he knows the family, they have gone deep. They have gone deep. They may expect. And one of them says, we will do what he does not expect. And
I sense death.
They are, they seem to have settled on this. They're getting up, so you have to retreat.
Yeah, I will. I will go back up to my.
Yeah, and sleep comes somewhat evasively, but it does come. And Sarah,
Yes.
you are in school.
Okay.
And the floor tiles have changed so that it's like the school sits on a giant chessboard. The individual squares are much larger than than the normal linoleum tiles or floor tiles in your school.
Game sequence.
What's that?
Dream sequence.
Yeah, well, you figure out. I mean, yes, you are dreaming, and you are modestly aware of it. And your aunt is teaching. She's up at the chalkboard, and for several minutes you're very embarrassed because she's talking to the class about the occult and drawing these sigils and glyphs, and the class is, it's kind of like if you're, this is like one of your mother's, your mother's sister, someone from your family has come in to teach the class and is teaching them all of this bizarre ass stuff, which is going to haunt you for your rest of your high school career. The other students watch agog as she, drawing inverted triangles and unicursal hexagrams, and talking about higher selves and lower selves, and our Jungian shadows, and while you're like trying to shrink smaller and smaller into the chair as she gets weirder and weirder, and there's like some snickering and stuff. And outside, the door is open, and you see a woman go sliding past like a chess piece, just not moving her legs. She's just sliding down the hall, and then in another classroom that you can kind of see through the door, there's somebody else moving diagonally. The person who's sliding is you don't recognize her, but you think she's the woman from the church. You have seen the revival stuff. They put up posters, and apparently she's not the overpastor, but she is one of the motivational speakers, and has these retreats, for women and stuff, and so people are very, churchgoers are very interested in them. And her head swivels as she goes by, looking at you before she's gone. And your aunt has drawn something on the board, and she says meditation and ritual isn't about calling on the power of the gods per se. It's about invoking the connections that we all have to things in the unseen world. So it's not exactly like you're paying for a favor from the divine. It's more like you're paying for a favor from yourself. But the more open your mind, the more expansive your vision. Some of the girls snigger. And she says the greater facility you have with manipulating the unseen. For example, somebody with sufficient knowledge and experience can raise or lower their states of consciousness with the right rituals without needing, for example, dangerous pharmaceuticals, more laughter from the back. And she says, or special floppy disks, or other kinds of
Sarah
magical
perks up at this.
And she says it's quite possible for a person who does this well enough to do it themselves, which can be very useful in some situations. It's an essence of magic that is very poorly understood by the layperson, and potentially very, very dangerous if you don't know how to handle it. And she says, but you could. The secrets are there. And some of you may even live long enough to get to know them. Several of the people in class have turned into mushrooms, sitting in their chairs, snickering, taking notes. And she looks at you, and she says, "I'd be careful about how you try it, but if you absolutely needed to, you might be able to find some of the staircases that wind down." And then you hear this fire alarm go off, and it turns out to be your alarm clock.
She's like, Sarah's just sort of sitting in bed, just like thinking about this deeply before getting up and getting dressed.
Yeah.
Also, I'll be right back. Child keeps turning up his tablet to obnoxiously loud levels. I'll be right back.
So, you guys go to school. You'll find out about the trip to Ox Industries after lunch. That's when or during lunch or immediately after. That's when you would generally go to computer club, and that's when she would have scheduled it for. So,
I'm very troubled by what I heard, but I can't quite tell my friends that my parents' father is about to do a hit on Ox Industries. But I'm a bit worried about what would happen if things went down while I was there. Yeah, we should make sure we're
Russell will make his way to school as usual, just kind of mulling over his talk with his sister. Just like, sis, I can't tell you anything. Good thing I have this book on security systems. He pulls out a large encyclopedia that she reads on the way to school.
Well, that is a good thing. Yeah. Well,
Sarah says I can't be smart. Flips pages.
So let's hope everything goes really well, huh?
I agree.
That's what we're hoping.
you guys, so you guys sail through first hour, but around second hour lunch is right after third. Sarah and Jules, you are you guys are coming out of a class you share, and you guys have this sort of ambient sense of nervousness that's this slight feeling of dread, or maybe an intense feeling of dread that's just kind of hanging around, making everything seem less real, even given the the bizarre things that have happened. Like, none of it's important. Like, it's all a two-dimensional background that you're walking in front of, but that's just emotionally. And then something that's definitely three-dimensional happens. There are several people, including what's her name, Taylor Wisdom and Mark Payton, the boy and girl leaders of the devotion church group.
Yeah, good.
A couple of their followers out there in the hall. Like when you come out of the door, they're on the other side of the hall, folded, looking at the two of you as you guys come out.
Oh. Wait. Who's with Jules?
Sarah.
Ah, see.
Mark Payton kind of gives Taylor wisdom, the one who snuck you in. Now, you remember that when you were in the church, it was Taylor that got you over there. But when you went down, she wasn't there. She vanished. And but Mark was, and you stabbed him.
Yeah, I remember this vividly.
So he nods to Taylor, and she comes forward towards both of you. She says, "Sarah, Julia, could we talk for a second?"
Jules kind of takes a step back a little bit, just like,
She says, "It's really important that we talk for a second."
Really? Because I'm pretty sure the last time this kind of thing happened, things didn't quite...
Just me.
How do I know I can trust you? Because evidently I almost tried to the last time.
She looks at you, Sarah.
Okay.
She says, "Tell your friend, we need to talk. I know you'll see reason. What's going on here doesn't need to concern you, shouldn't concern you. I know both of you want out, so please do the smart thing. And let's just leave this alone."
Am I there?
No, it's just the two girls.
Just the two girls.
Okay.
Oh, you think we want out of this? Honey, you must be dim.
She's surprised by that.
Sarah's just gonna put a hand on Jules and just give her a look.
And
Just hold up a finger.
she nods at that. And she says, "I'm sorry that my brother, the boys, did what they did. I didn't know they were going to do that, Julia. But the fact is, you got something that doesn't belong to you. You need to hand it over, or I can't do too much about it." She sort of mimes looking over her shoulder without actually totally doing it.
Sarah's going to say, "Julia, how much do you know about what's happening to you specifically?"
You mean Taylor?
You mean Taylor, right?
Taylor, sorry. Didn't mean Julia.
And she says, "I don't know what you mean by that."
Are you aware of anything happening to you? Do you feel different at all lately?
She considers that. No, she doesn't, but she does have kind of an answer. And she says, I believe, that a great enlightenment is coming, and if you're not on the train, so to speak, then you're missing a huge and vital opportunity. She looks at you meaningfully, Sarah. She says, "This isn't something you'd want to miss." And I do feel it coming. I feel it coming hard.
What does it feel
Jules is biting back the urge to just scream, "Space Shamu!"
What does it feel like?
I would have made a terrible joke by now.
What does it feel like, Taylor?
She says it feels like a great opening in the world.
But what does it feel like
truth.
for you?
She says, "I'm excited about it. I have to tell you that, we live under this cloud of darkness that covers everything: our TV, comic books, the dance music you guys all listen to."
Jules bites her knuckle, just like, I must resist screaming right now.
These are dark things, Sarah, you know that. These are things that are trying to get into our minds and lay their eggs in there. And this is going to wipe all of that away like a cleansing wind.
No kidding.
Sarah's just gonna look at her and be like, "Taylor, do you mind taking a walk with me? Just the two of us. Alone?" She looks
You want to be alone with her!
She looks meaningfully at Jules and also meaningfully over Taylor's shoulder.
She says, "Okay." She's gonna walk with you. Julie, what are you gonna do? They're looking at you. you think if they thought you had the disc on you, do you have the disc on you?
Oh, I had it.
Yes.
Yeah, Vasily had it, so
Yeah,
no, I
you
do
think
not.
if they had the disc on you, they'd, but they don't
She
think
just
you.
kind of glares at them, and she holds up one of her hands and just kind of wiggles her fingers, pretty much like she might have when the darts came up in the underworld. So she's like, "Don't tempt me, bitch."
Well, the other guys don't know what that means. They're not these are kids. They're not the same people who are in there. But
Well, choir boy there
does,
knows.
and you see this flicker, like the faint crack in the armor. He may not know what it means, but he definitely knows it means something. And they're backing away.
She just kind of grins at this, like, "Yeah, you better back up, bitch."
Yeah, well, and they see him moving away, and they're just like, okay. And so you have like these 4 guys, who are pretty big guys, all kind of backing away from Jules as.
Yeah, and she kind of widely grins, and probably he might not memorize it, but it probably looks faintly like her like unhinged grin at this point. Just
Yeah, you feel kind of almost like you could open your jaws a little more. I mean, you can't really here, but you can. You feel like that, that extra muscle is back there somewhere. And Russell and Vasily, you guys are walking down the hall. It's, the warning bell went off when you see these. You see the girls backing off.
Oh, abomination! I'm gonna walk over there.
I follow, book in hand. It's a very heavy book.
It's a very heavy book.
Defeating security systems for fun and profit. So yeah, you're kind of.
Hi guys, what's up? What's going on? What's the good word?
Ethan waves the relatively sized textbook that is the security system book in the air, and smiles.
What's the name? What's the name of the head church girl here or whatever?
Taylor. Oh, the
I say hi, Taylor.
Yeah, well, she was walking with Sarah. Well, she turns and.
Hi, Taylor.
Sarah's dragging her away. It's like, not now, guys.
All right.
Well,
Taking
Taylor,
a big look at all the witnesses, kind of, all these people who don't have any idea what's going on, so that if there's going to be any weird stuff, it would look really, you wouldn't want to do it.
It's already looking kind of weird considering Jules is wildly grinning at Mark as he's slowly backing away.
Yeah, I see the insane grinning, and I'm like, so let's all, go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's almost time for class. Let's head on.
Yeah, let's all go. That's a great idea. Let's all go to class.
Well,
said no one ever, but okay.
Mark puts a hand on one of these guys are like all juniors, so they are bigger than you, and you don't normally think of them as bullies per se, but but they're definitely self-righteous pricks. And he puts a hand on one of the guy's shoulders, and he's walking over towards you, Vasily, and Russell, since you were calling out. And he says, you ever worry about your, I guess your soul?
And my immortal soul?
He nods.
Constantly.
Huh?
Constantly.
And he says, well, do you think you know how to get right with it?
Right.
I say, yeah, I kind of do.
And how's that?
Hey, What was the name of the guy who we shot?
Oh, fuck, what was
Who
his
in
name?
slug form?
Yeah, what was his name?
Who were those guys? Like, what were their real names?
Yeah, you knew them.
I yelled the guy's name as I was running at him, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I think it was Alan.
Alan.
Yeah, he's one of the guys here.
Oh.
Oh, it's Alan! I say hi, Alan.
Russell
Alan's
Wade.
kind of.
Yeah.
You know what Russell does? He makes finger guns and just goes like this. Hopefully to spark the memory.
Well, this happened technically in the future, but you make the finger gun, and Alan is like whoa, and you don't think it's memory so much as just you're like threatening him.
Finger gunning him. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I mean, he's like,
Is he threatened, or does he
like,
think?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Is he threatened, or does he think you're the Fawns?
Yeah, something like that. I was
well,
called
he's just like.
Yeah, I say I believe life
in
is like
the
a
90s,
video
this
game.
is kind of like a gangster move. You know? It's
What did
I'm
everyone
gonna shoot you.
did everyone just suddenly forget about Happy Days in the 90s?
I sure did.
Everyone tried.
God damn it.
Yeah, after the shark thing,
Well, that didn't come until much later.
Literal jumping the shark.
So, you said, yeah, life is like a video game.
Yeah, I think life is like a video game, and so I say, look, if I were you, I would be super worried about my immortal soul, like super worried, like the stuff that you guys are into is going to lead to a world on fire with all of you turning into slugs and
potentially just a very, very dark place with it.
wearing really bad hats. And
Really bad.
and I would try and get out of it now, because I think it only gets worse from here.
You know, there was a perk though. You had some nice muskets.
There is a Reddit board, not now in this time, but in real life, called Oddly Specific. Where people post statements that seem to be general, but then take a turn into the weirdly specific, and sometime around really bad hats.
This one we got real weirdly specific.
You had some nice muskets. Not to mention the slug thing. Mark is kind of triggered, to use a modern term.
He's a little tilted.
Blinks, yeah.
He's a little angry.
And he takes a step back.
Well, there, hey, what's up?
And
I'm just riffing.
You think he's afraid, Vasily?
Hey, are you worried about your immortal soul? Are you?
Immoral soul.
Immoral soul.
I think is that one thing that you know that bothers you? Do you sometimes feel like you're turning into?
You're starting to sound like some kind of medicine commercial.
Turning into what?
Musket slug.
Musket
A
slug.
slug musket, and wears. Well, I don't even know how to describe it, but I mean, is that something that I'm asking him? I'm sort of, if he takes a step back, I take a step forward. Is that something that
You're doing the tango.
what kind of hat?
Well, like a German hat, I think. Although, really,
It looks
does
like a hat with
that
spikes.
matter? I say, is that really the relevant thing? We're talking about your immortal soul, and you're worried about what kind of hat?
Yeah. Isn't
Are
your
you-
immortal
are
soul the
you-
most important thing in the world to you? After all, it is what was most precious, the spirit.
Yeah. I say, I think you're missing the trees for the forest.
Russell takes a
Or the
step
trees.
forward.
It could be either way. But I think you're missing something here, and I out of your goofy little cult.
Well, now
Distance
we don't know for
between
certain.
them and you as you possibly could.
His eyes blink, and he's like turns to the guys and he says, "We're going." Like, I have to make a call. He's going.
As he's going down the hall.
When he turns away, I grab him by the shoulder.
Oh boy.
Go lean over, and I'm going to say, "Don't call. If you do, and you never get out.
If you do, I will hack
Don't
phone."
run and don't look back. I know you won't because I've seen the future. I have told you this now, so when we meet again, you remember I warned you."
Well, if fate really is a thing, that means we can make our own, right?
I'm just trying to scare him. I have no idea how it works.
He is getting the hell out of there.
Yeah, as he goes down the hall, Jules will just kind of grin a little bit wider. Later,
Alan
monkey!
sort of drops the last bomb too little, too late, but he says, "We know people at this school." He's pointing at you, Vasily, as he's backing away. He says, "We know people in the administration."
And we got friends on the other side. Now move along.
Russell, points the.
They say, I know people in red time. I know people in green time.
You guys aren't really that impressive.
So you were talking with, Sarah, you were talking with Taylor.
Trying to.
While we're scaring the fuck out of her boyfriend and his friends.
Bang bang.
Does this school have a spiral staircases in it, or is it just like a lame?
It's a regular school. In fact, I have a map of.
It's a lame regular school with lame regular stairs.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't know what you expected.
I was hoping for spiral stairs because some schools. I've seen schools with spiral staircase. In fact, my old high school had one.
Well, this is a school map. I just put it up.
So no, it does not have fancy
It
spiral.
does not have a spiral stairs.
Curses.
You guys are like around here.
Okay.
The computer club is over here.
Do I know of any places that might, such as the library or anything like that?
Spiral staircase.
Go ahead. I'll make a roll.
fancy
I'll
thing.
make a roll. I roll a 12. The closest that you can come to the spiral staircase is in the library, and it's not really a 2-story library. It's just a very high 1-story. But they have a couple of sections with very high up books. So.
Oh, in the in the school library. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I meant an actual. I thought when I said library, I meant an external building.
Oh yeah, if you're looking for the external, yeah.
Like a library.
Yeah,
one
yeah,
that was by itself.
Well, the town library is probably not so much, but the town city hall does have a spiral staircase.
Ooh.
Good to know.
Would I be able to get access to that? Not right now, but after school.
Yeah, you think so?
Okay. So I'm gonna say to Taylor, so Taylor, I hear what you're selling here. I hear what you're laying out, right? And your whole worry for me and my immortal soul and all that stuff and all the bad things in life, and I can understand that. I can understand that. I can understand where
She
you're coming
says
from.
there are people in the main office who want what you have. And she says donators to the school, people who've donated to the mayor's campaign.
Ox Industries.
No. And she says, but they have a lot of pull with the admin. And they are going to want to talk to you. Maybe when school gets out, maybe before the end of the day. And she says, so this isn't about my religion.
No. I know it. They're going to want to talk to me, and I'm going to have nothing to give them. I'm not going to lie. But here's the thing. This isn't about me right now. Right now, I want to talk about you. 'Cause, see, the thing is, like I said, I understand what you're saying about something's coming. An enlightenment, whatever you want to call it. I understand that that there are bad things in this world. However, I've got a sneaking suspicion. Well, actually, let me pose it this way. What, can I roll a diplomat thing for this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, 4d6. See how well I roll. Please roll well. Oh no, that's bad.
Well, you still go with whatever it is you say, so...
Yeah. So Sarah's gonna be like, I know you are wanting this enlightenment, this what's coming, but what if I told you wouldn't get to be there for it? What if I told you that for it to happen, you might not exist? You might, not even a soul. Like, you, Taylor, might be just erased. Or, potentially, and I don't know which is worse, you might not have any control of yourself during, when it happens, and you might do things that you won't like.
And she says, what do you believe? Do you believe the Enlightenment's coming?
I think your enlightenment is coming, and I don't think it is what you think it is. And I think that you're going to be affected in a way that you don't realize, and I think that it's going to be something that you're not going to like. And I'm worried about you.
Huh. She says, well, I'd worry about yourself first, because they're here now.
I'll tell you what. If I get through this just fine, which I think I will, why don't you meet me? Do you have anything going on after school today?
She shakes her head. No.
She
clearly does, but she's saying no.
Can you meet me at Town Hall? I know it's a weird request, but could you meet me at Town Hall? And again, just come by yourself. I'm going to come by myself. I just have something I want to show you that I think might make things a bit clearer.
Okay, this is not the direction that she had planned to take it. The bell has rung, but she says yes.
Okay. And I'm planning to see her after school, probably on my own. I'm not telling anyone else what I told her.
Okay. All right.
And it's off to class. Oh god.
Yeah, well.
After visually scaring the piss out of Mark, Jules is pretty happy.
Russell is continuously flipping through a giant book.
Can I get my hands on on just like a regular floppy disk?
Sure.
Okay. Dude, I'm going to draw, okay, was the Key of Solomon just drawn, written on it with a Sharpie or something?
No, it was stamped.
Damn it. Damn, I can't make a fake then. Real easy.
Well, if you had art skill, it's not that complicated. So.
Well, okay. You know what?
I'm putting it into.
Okay, you know what? Then I'm going to make a quick adjustment to my spending because I think I bought stealth, but I think I put way too much. Like I put like 2 points into it, which I think I raised it to 2, and I'm like that's a little silly.
I'm fine with you making it.
One's just beginner is just as good.
Yeah.
For stealth, so I'm gonna pick up. I'll pick up art then. Would that be under painting?
Yeah, it would just be a coordination based.
Okay. Well, it says it's mem.
Could be it's mem or coordination. There's two versions.
My mem is better, so I'll go.
You can go with mem.
Okay.
It probably would be from memory that you're doing this anyway.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Actually, with level 3 occult, yes, it's from memory. You know what it looks like.
Yeah. So I'm going.
I put it into the channel.
So yeah, I'm going to try to make a copy. I'm going to try and make my
I'm going to copy the Hebrew.
I'm basically going to put the stamp on on a blank disc, one of my discs that I have. And can I recreate that sticker at the top too? Noetic hermeneutics in like if I went to the computer lab and printed off a sticker or something.
You could print this in the lab and then kind of tape it on. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'm going to try to create a decoy copy.
Okay. Well, it's a it's a 3.5 inch disc.
Well,
but yes.
Yeah, I'm basically drawing the seal on there, right. To look like a stamp.
Normies won't know what a zip disk is, so you'll be fine.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to draw the recreate the stamp on the thing, and then also just create the little label on a computer and print it out and stuck on there.
Okay. You're gonna want to do that after lunch.
Okay.
Or skip lunch.
Should I make a roll for it?
You will, yes.
Okay.
You can make a roll now if you want to. At lunch, you guys see Alice sitting by herself.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, it's a 9.
All right, I'm approaching.
Succeed.
Okay,
I succeed
I'm
by
not
3.
even waiting. I'm not even waiting on her. I'm approaching her.
Yeah, she. Okay, so you're gonna have to wait for the printer, but you have drawn a pretty credible Solomonic glyph.
Yeah.
So you go over there. She looks at you. She looks like she is in a bad mood, but also, in other ways, things are not going well. You guys are all at lunch, and she looks at you. You come over there, and she kind of folds her arms, crosses her legs, and looks at you as you come up.
Hey, Alice.
Hi.
Listen, oh, this is going to sound weird coming from me, because I am not the type that's like this, but you obviously seem like something's up. And Jules kind of takes a seat at the table. What's going on?
She watches as you sit down, sort of like you think of a cobra getting ready to strike, but you sit down, and she says, "You guys did it, didn't you? You hacked into that stupid system."
Time to lie through your teeth.
Would I have to make a roll for this?
No. So usually the rolls are made to either do something that you really couldn't do, like fake a deep emotion, that would be like the actor skill, or to augment. So, for example, you could say, I con artist her which means I kind of confuse her or distract her or whatever. But it augments what you say. But you can just say what you say. And...
Okay, not a problem. Just wanted to check first before I open my big mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, after we got through the website and figured out a couple of the weaknesses, it was pretty easy. Honestly, the hardest part was trying to figure out the whole password shtick, but we managed.
And she says, did they come after you? Because they came after us.
What do you mean by they? Because, I mean, honestly, a lot of crazy stuff has been going on this weekend. I'm not going to lie.
Everyone's after us.
We're going to die.
But it depends on which they, I guess, you're referring to.
And she says that the industry guys, the Ox industry people.
Well, evidently, I guess they kind of split.
She says they got Ryan there. They got Ryan first, and she says somebody. I think they got Davey. I don't know what happened to them. They're gone. I know they didn't run off. I mean, they might be hiding somewhere. I hope they're hiding somewhere.
I guess so, but looks like somebody's splitting labor then, because the industry guys went after you and they sticked another group onto us.
She nods at that, and she says, fuck, I told them when we saw that psychotic webpage to just leave it alone. She looks kind of ill. And she says, well, I don't know about you, but I'm about to pick up and go. I figure they don't have time to run me down if I get in my car and start driving till I run out of gas.
Well, I mean, Alice, can I be honest with you about something?
She kind of...
Because considering who they sent after us, this seems like a very big deal.
And she says, yeah, it's creepy as fuck. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what's going on over there. And honestly, sure I want to.
Well, do you at least want to know what happened to them, if something did happen to them?
She nods. She says, you know?
I have a way of figuring out to know, but my friends and I have been working on some things. We technically managed to convince the broad that's in charge of the club now to get us into a field trip inside the building. We might be able to get access to this information with one of the computers. We got one of us has been focusing on...
Inside what building?
The main computer building in Oxford Industries.
Inside
We're
Ox?
going inside Ox after they're
Okay,
done.
she stares at you. Like just, absolutely, oh my God. And she says, you go in there? After...
Yes.
And then she
evidently
pauses. She says, do you think they might have the guys in there?
That's what I'm thinking, but there's also something that we found while we were doing our little thing that is probably the reason why they sent the group that they did after us, and we want to try and figure out what it is and, if possible, stop it. But we've had Russell working on his hacking skills a little bit to give us a better edge. Sarah's been working on some stuff, and she kind of turns and stares seriously at Alice. I need you to teach me about the locks, because if we want any chance to figure out either what's going on or what happened to your friends, we need all the help we can get.
She pauses and she says, I'll show you. Hang on a second, guys.
Alright. Booyakasha!
Shia Kazi.
20 minutes.
No.
What I imagine as this is all happening, as we're all laying it on really thick, Russell's just there, reading a really large book, which is very odd for him.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sarah's trying to convince the head girl of the church to try and side with us. I convinced Alice to teach me lock-picking stuff. You're just reading.
Oh.
Look, I'm going to be the only one that can get into the security systems at all. You'll thank me later.
You need to do the hacker man. Just start bashing on the keyboard and then go, I'm in.
And
You fucking know I will,
meanwhile,
and I'll
my
pass.
3 character points are going into locksmithing.
Yeah,
need to-
she,
you-
I
Russ-
am good. Hell
Russell,
yeah.
Russell,
well,
you need.
she looks at you and she says, one condition.
Yes.
You take me with you. If the boys are in there, if Davy's in there, I want to find him.
Russell, I need you to get some mirror shades.
I mean, it's going to be the computer club. I suppose we could pass you off as a member that hasn't been showing up recently because of things. We can make it work.
But
Whatever
Sarah,
you need to.
I don't need to. I don't think the shades will work.
No, they need to be reflective for when you say I'm in.
All right. In that case, that's the deal.
Are you gonna pass off one of these super arrogant hacker kids as mere computer club? That's what's happening? Because I think we should take a moment to recognize how the mighty have fallen.
I mean, honestly, Jules has got a little bit of a pride drive going now. She scared Mark. She convinced Alice not only to try to lock take, but to basically come along with us because we clearly managed to do something she
We're
couldn't.
suddenly cooler.
You know,
We're-
I'm on power
Okay.
trip. It's just
Guys,
Okay,
this
I'm
won't
gonna have to
last. We should
down
take a
a peg.
moment to enjoy it.
I'm gonna have to bring you down a peg in like the next class period.
No,
bug off.
you know what you need to do. You know what you need to do. You need to say that if she wants to come, she has to officially join computer club.
Oh my!
Yes.
Leave it alone.
Yes.
She has to what?
She has to
officially join the computer club.
Russell looks over at the 3 conniving bastards in front of him, just like, "Yep, this is my life."
Okay, she,
Well, it only makes sense.
she,
This is a computer club
somehow she
thing.
manages to audibly groan inwardly.
Audibly groan inwardly.
Welcome to my life. He calls over from the other side of the room.
In that case, Alice, we will be seeing you, fellow club member, after school.
At
So-
computer club. Hey.
So Sarah just sort of steps up behind Alice and then just like sort of gives her one of those hugs with like the head on the shoulder thing, and it's just like, you're one of us now, bestie.
New kid has to buy coffee.
Russell closes his book.
She says
It drags
she
all
she
his-
shakes you and kind of shakes like a dog shedding water. And
Okay.
then she
That's
looks
enough.
at you vastly and says, "Don't." Shit.
Okay,
Sarah just leans in, whispers in her ear. She's like, "We're gonna be best friends."
Okay, I'm putting a stop to this. Russell closes his book, walks over, grabs everyone by their ear, and starts dragging them.
What? You only have 2 hands.
Oh, I'll use my foot if I must.
he uses
No,
his,
Jules is coming along. She got what she needed.
he gives
So-
he uses his third arm.
Exactly.
You don't have
grow
a
it.
third arm.
Lisa
It's in his
Preston
pants.
is so you guys go through school, and it turns out that when the bell rings and you come to the computer club, nothing happens. The devotion hasn't done anything. Whatever their threats were, it didn't come through. And Miss Preston, looking rather pleased with herself, says, well, I got permission. The principal signed off on it, and the person on the phone, I'm explained to her what was going on, and she said they would be happy to bring you in.
Oh, good. It's a trap.
Oh, good. It's a trick.
Alice holds a hand up with her blade. Aye.
She's the new member.
Hey.
Oh. Well, my car doesn't. Alice says, I got a car. I'll follow you.
No. She can have my spot. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine.
No, wouldn't work.
Well, so you guys
Are
are
we
going.
evil? Are we the baddies?
No, we're just high schoolers.
Pretty much.
That's a yes.
Have you guys seen Are We the Baddies?
You guys are.
No, I mean the video that Vasily is referring to.
Oh. No.
What?
It's
I'm-
worth watching.
It's a bunch of Nazis wondering if they're actually the bad guys.
I see.
Everything you have is covered with skulls. You might be the bad guys, and they're looking around, and it's all skulls.
Well then.
It is totally worth watching. It is short.
Are we the baddies? No.
Maybe.
Take your
Are we
take
the
your 2
baddies?
minutes and watch it for a second. Well, you can do it later, but
Yeah, we should. Let's watch it later. We'll watch it
Yeah.
later.
you guys should definitely
We're on
watch
stream.
it.
We're still on stream.
Yes.
What do you
Well, I'm
mean?
just saying. It is totally worth watching. So, all right. It's relevant in this day and age. So she is taking you guys out there, and you see that same beat up vehicle, the blue church car,
Oh goddamn! Would you guys stop it?
on the far side of the parking lot. The sun gleaming off it, so you can't see who's inside.
It's at the place.
Well, it's at the school.
Oh, it's at the school.
Miss Preston gets at the car now. So, are you going to the town hall? Is Sarah going to the town hall?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, you take off on your bike, and Miss Preston gets in. Lisa, Alice slides in. Actually, she's gonna sit up front.
Yeah, I was about to say the
Yeah.
oldest girl sits up front, the kid's in the back.
Yeah, she sits up front.
Jules would
And
probably position it
so,
so she
you
sits
know-
directly behind Alice.
You haven't been coming to the computer club. Nope. But you just joined today. Yep.
We're glad to have her.
Do you know anything about computers? Yep.
This is the conversation.
This is wonderful conversation.
You can-
I lean in and I say, if it becomes unbearable, you can just ask the ore guys to take you wherever they took the others.
She looks back and then nods. What?
Russell just pinches the bridge of his nose.
So, you guys should see very little on this screen.
Oh, black.
Well, there's a
It's
little
covered
bit
in darkness.
It's darkness.
I
Darkness.
undid the overhang. So, can you see the overhang? No.
Oh, I see one.
I see it.
Okay. Hold on a
It's
second. Let me-
darkness and then overhang.
Yeah,
The
well, that's
void.
the outside,
It calls.
the outside. That's the outside over.
Darkness imprisoning me. Everybody's dead. Everybody's
I
angry.
didn't know we were playing Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, I see it. Over there all the way on the right. Yes.
Darkness imprisoning me. Everybody's dead. Everybody's angry.
So what you're telling me is we're playing Kingdom Hearts. Darkness, 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 darkness.
Darkness, darkness. Hit things with big sword.
Light, darkness.
Darkness.
Light.
Anime, Mickey Mouse.
Exactly.
Anime Mickey Mouse. God damn it, guys.
I mean, yes, he's not wrong.
Anime, Mickey Mouse, Goofy, fuck Donald.
Fuck Donald.
No. Steve,
Fuck
you
Donald.
Do your fucking job, you stupid ass duck.
Steve, you don't understand. You've overlooked something. There's a thing called Ultra Instinct Goofy.
Ultra
Don't look it up.
Instinct Goofy!
Look it up. Look it up when you get the chance. Just look it up.
I'm looking up this right now.
Just-
I still love Ultra Instinct Shaggy, but this may be
Oh my god.
But this may surpass it.
Why?
Ever wondered how Goofy moves so fast? In order to save Sora from that dark Faraga?
Look.
Oh my god. Zach,
Look,
why?
Haley.
He's over there.
Haley, I have to do it once a year. Only once a year. I almost missed my quota, okay? You can kill me off later, okay?
In this game or in the other one?
Well, depends on which one you want to kill me first.
Okay.
Oh god, the first comment is the best.
What's that?
He went beyond
Alright.
the speed of Hyuk.
We should focus.
Focus! Focus!
Steven, for now, focus a little.
Yeah.
Now, you guys should come walking up. The doors are reflective. They're reflective glass, perfect mirrors. And there's no sign of almost anything except there are 3 very nice, very strange cars that you want a lot. One of them is an enormous Bentley. One of them is a
Why is it like this?
$1 million Bugatti Veyron.
Saw that.
One of them you don't recognize. And she just looks at them. She has any idea what. As she comes by and she comes to the door and there's this small little label there that says knock. It says hold ID. And she goes into her purse, and Alice is looking around, totally freaked out by this enormous empty with 3 stratospherically expensive cars, and these gigantic towers overhead. And she holds up her school ID and says, "Hello, I'm Miss Preston, Lisa Preston from the computer club." And there's this, and the door is open.
Alright, we're in. And Jules will kind of maybe glance at Alice, just be like, keep your cool.
Alice looks like she's gonna keep her cool.
Russell leaves his giant book behind, as not to arouse suspicion.
Don't be suspicious.
Chapter 1. See if you can gain regular access to the company.
Lastly, no, quiet.
They trust an authority figure such as a high school teacher. That's perfect.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
anyway, we're in. Let's get the hell in.
Where did Sarah go?
She for what
Into
the
the
trip in order to
darkness.
go in order to meet up with the she went
Yeah.
the trip to meet up with Taylor after school.
Oh, that's right.
Didn't tell us, just took off.
And now we're gonna do the plan without her. We got this.
I mean, that's not unusual at this point.
yeah. All right. So we're entering the building.
Yeah, hold on a second. I'm gonna put a picture up in the
The
chat. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. I can't tell if this was made
Or if
made
this is a
like
picture.
with cardboard or like this is like a real picture. this is really hard to distinguish.
It's generated.
I made it.
You can tell if you look at the metal detector on the inside of the frame.
I see.
Yeah, from the
Nope.
distance you can't tell, but when you zoom in, it's kind of obvious.
It's very good.
Yeah, but from a distance, it looks like it's like a photograph. That's kind of scary.
Thank you.
Can I ask you to make some environments for me? I'd be very happy to pay you for that.
Well, I can show you how to do it.
I do not have a computer for that.
He's got a dinosaur.
It's not a dinosaur. It's just a work computer. It doesn't really want to work up with games or anything else for that matter.
Okay, well, we can talk about it. The software that I'm using is actually so.
No. I'll keep it in mind.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys come in there, and there's a single person, a woman, who is here.
I swear. If it's the birch lady from the church, I'm going to throw a fit.
No, she looks kind of secretarial.
Oh, thank God.
You know, she's
I was about to say, Jules is going to have to punch somebody. It's going to be now.
smiling brightly, and
Jules, calm down.
and she says, and you can see that there's the sign about leaving everything, aside from it, and there's a metal detector and some signs up on the wall, and she says, please pass all of your bags and belongings through the metal detector, place them on the conveyor belt, and then step through the metal detector one at a time. And
So, I want to look at that picture real quick. So there's a small little space between on the right side of the metal detector.
yeah, well, not really. Those are the doors here. Do you have anything that's
Would a floppy disk pop up?
No, floppy disk won't set off a metal detector. They might see it in the scan, but you don't think that it would necessarily. You don't know if it's an X-ray machine. Well, it won't set off. It won't set off the metal detector. It might show up in the X-ray machine. There's nobody else here though. There's nobody manning these. You see, there's stuff on the screens that you can't make out. And I don't know if you can see it, but these have gigantic screens on them. This monitor here is almost 8 feet tall, or not 8 feet tall, but it goes up to the ceiling and is it's quite tall. But the chairs are empty, and she is waving you through. So, Alice goes through. To here, and then, not Alice, I'm sorry, Miss Lisa. Alice goes through. Actually, Alice doesn't go through. Alice just kind of shakes her head, looking at you guys. And the woman says,
Do I think she has like a weapon? I mean, what do I make of that?
Her lockpicks.
Switchblade.
Ooh,
You saw her cleaning her nails.
Oh, right.
The woman says, don't be afraid. The damaging rays cannot harm you unless you are actually on the conveyor belt. And the human body doesn't pick up or retain any magnetic resonance. It's perfectly safe.
I'm saying now, because I'm trying to remember how the metal detector things, like the belts, work. Will they go off if they detect any metal, or does it just pass through?
The metal detector will detect metal. The X-ray machine will scan bags.
Right, Jules will probably motion for, Vasily or Russell to go ahead. Ashley comes up beside Alice, and she just kind of pats her side, just hand it to me, I'll stick it in my bag.
She hands it over to you. She passes it to you pretty slickly.
And she does it when Jules, best as she can, sticks into one of the pockets that she can access and zips it back up quickly, as the lady is probably dealing with Russell and Vasily, trying to squeeze through the metal detector at the same time.
Come on, Vasily, let me go first.
The woman is here. You go through, and Russell goes through.
I'm like, if we go through this, do we have to go on a flight? Because I don't have a ticket to anywhere, and my passport is at home.
No, Vasily, you're fine.
She says, I don't think it has anything to do with flying.
I'm pretty sure these are what they use at the airport.
Yeah, they are.
So just pass through the freaking thing.
Well, once the crisis is averted, I'll go through.
So you put your bag on there.
Mm-hmm.
You hear this, and you see on this screen over here this giant blow up of your bag with all of the white spider webs of stuff inside, including what is very obviously a switchblade showing up here with like boxes around it, computerized boxes that seem to be detection analyzer things. And the woman just smiles primly. Nothing happens. You come through, the bags come out. Miss Preston hasn't seen it. She's not watching the metal detector screen. She's watching you guys,
Doesn't know us very well, does she?
No. Yeah, no, Jules passes through as soon as her bag comes up. She's just like, mine.
You keeping the switchblade? No.
Yes, I am. She's keeping it for right now. If Alice needs it, she knows where it is. Just in case somebody feels like frisking her real quick.
And the woman says, you will proceed through the security barricade. She points to them kind of like a flight attendant telling you, about the safety equipment. When they open, at the sound of the buzzer. At the sound of the buzzer, the security gates will open and you will pass through. You will go into the waiting room. She gestures to this door. Do you guys understand?
Say, I was initially comforted that that everything here was normal, but what I was expecting. Yes, I understand fine.
Yeah,
Good.
we get it. Let's just go.
She goes over here, touches something on the screen. 30, 29, 28. There's a set of double doors here.
So we're just sitting here twiddling our thumbs.
Well, yeah.
It's a 30-second countdown.
She goes through the double doors. And then Miss Preston looks at both of you. Alice is looking around like, what the hell? And these gates both swing simultaneously open.
Oh, okay.
Boom.
Step on through to the other side.
Miss Preston says, well, I'm certain that somebody's supposed to meet us. Why don't you guys just wait here? She looks inside. This is entirely empty.
Yeah, I'm walking in. They're busy. Maybe we should just show ourselves around.
Jules chuckles at this, and at the same time, she kind of roughly elbows Vasily. It's just like, this is our cover. Don't fuck it up.
And I put
I'm looking over there, and I shake my head, and my look says that whatever weirdness has broken free here, we have nothing to worry about.
Oh, hey, fish tank.
There's a fish tank, and outside through these things, you can see these wonderful. There's a glowing sunset of Manhattan, and over through the windows here. You see some absolutely amazing vistas in glowing backlit light. Of course, you've seen from the outside, and you know that there's actually no windows there.
Definitely a way to make it seem homely.
Now, put some of those graphics at the.
Wow, they do a really good job with all the special effects. It's just amazing, isn't it?
Very funny, Vasily. I mean, somebody's supposed to meet up with us.
She says yes. Yeah. Let me. And the woman actually is standing here, but there's a woman, a receptionist, standing at the desk, and she could be the twin sister of the one who just let you in. Although she's wearing different clothes, slightly different clothes.
That's not unnerving. He comments to himself.
There's a door. There's a doorway up here, double door.
Up there?
Here, where I'm. Okay.
All right.
And there's a door here.
Right.
And she says, if you guys just take your seats, I'm sure somebody will be along to show you around. Preston says, someone was supposed to meet us. We had set up for a tour, and the woman says, yes, a tour. I'm aware. We have a very careful schedule. So, somebody will meet you. Why don't you just take your seats?
Oh, I hope that schedule counts for bathroom break, because...
Yes, we should. So, guys, we didn't talk about our plan here. What is our plan?
To find the well.
Well, not the well, the control panel, which we know generally where it is from where Mr. Smiley pointed us. We just have to find our way up there.
So why don't we split up into two teams? One team will freaking out, and the other team will infiltrate the building.
Well,
we're already in the building.
Miss Preston is coming over here, and she wants to talk to, because the vibe here is weird, and she just, she can't figure out what's going on, and she says, Miss Preston says to the woman, what is your name? And the person says, I'm Amy. She says, were you the person who let us in the security checkpoint? Miss Preston asking Amy says, no, I'm the receptionist. She has a name tag that says receptionist. And Miss Preston says, I'd like to talk to somebody in charge. And Amy, the receptionist, says, absolutely, please come with me.
Why don't we just stay here while you go work this out?
She says, yes, that would be for the best.
We'll stay right here and we won't go wandering anywhere.
Yep, exactly.
They go through.
Right, with that, Jules would probably gather everybody around. Okay, so we know exactly what we're looking for in here. We just have to try to navigate our way to there.
Alice says this is beyond screwed up.
Yeah, no kidding, honey.
Yes,
We kind of realized that the moment we walked in here. And where are you going?
Only gets worse.
Where are you going, Alice? Get back here.
She says they've got terminals. She throws her hands up. They're plastic.
What? Plastic? Oh dear.
Oh, that doesn't bode well.
She says they're props.
In that case, let's get further in this building and see if we can
Listen,
find...
everything here is fake and messed up, and
she turns
possibly
around and she
dangerous.
says, why don't you guys go? Why don't we call somebody?
What about this? We're going to try to find this panel.
And she says, yeah, but
We
whatever's
don't have a
going
lot of
on
time
here, this isn't just about us hacking them. This is something else.
You're quite correct.
Yeah, we kind of realized that beforehand, Alice.
You're quite correct, and now you're in on the surprise. Come on, let's have some fun.
Which is good. It's good to be on the surprise, but you probably don't have time to figure everything out, nor do we have time to explain it all, nor would it make any sense if we did.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just going to ask you, Alice, here, trust us, come with us. I mean, who could we even call with this?
And if something looks aggressive, stick it with your switchblade.
Yeah, which, by the way, Jules goes digging in her bag and hands over the switchblade. Here you go.
Thank you. She looks
Not a
at
problem.
it, and she says, they didn't even blink.
No, it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
That's kind of why it threw me off that they didn't really react. So there's definitely something fishy going on.
She pauses at the door over here and she says, "Is space alien?
What was that? Repeat. You broke up a little bit.
Is this about space alien?"
That's not a bad way of thinking about it, actually.
Yeah,
No,
it's complicated. If you want us to explain it, we can explain while we're poking around. All right.
Yeah, you could go with I could go with inner space.
Gasly, just get your ass over here. Come on, we gotta find this thing.
All right, I'm going. I'm coming.
Does anyone want to try it? Well, I guess you can't easily.
What can we do?
I was going to say get in contact with Sarah.
Well, that's already beyond.
Yeah, well, we'll switch over to Sarah in a second.
Okay. I mean, at least it's giving him time to calm the baby.
Yeah.
Baby-
He lives.
Baby's he's not screaming, but he's going nuts over there.
Oh lord. Alright, well. Oh dear. Oh hey, there are the restrooms.
There are others.
Okay, well, we're walking and looking at those doors.
They look plastic.
Everything here looks plastic. This is like a Potemkin office.
This is like a dollhouse.
I mean, that's not a bad way to think about it.
Bunch of toys. Wait, what the fuck does that make
Ready
us?
room,
Ready room,
shack station, conference room.
snack station, yeah.
Can you read that?
Snack station.
Okay,
We need more
so-
snacks.
Everything is toys.
Ready room.
Maybe Russell, you were Ken all along.
Okay, so which one of these rooms do we want to look in first?
Night station.
I'm not sure how you were able to to read it.
I opened it in my browser and zoomed in.
I'm walking over to the snack station and looking over into 01.
God damn it, Vasily.
01 is locked and has a security.
What is
However,
that picture on the wall?
which
Is
one?
that's just a landscape?
Actually, it's looking into the conference.
Oh.
Give me a second.
Oh no.
Excuse me. Ah. So,
This certainly is interesting so far.
There's a
this
water
open?
cooler.
Whoa!
I wonder
This
if
is
this
this is the break room or snack station.
I'm looking for snacks.
How much you want to gamble that none of those open?
I bet you anything if it does open, there's plastic food inside.
That'd be funny.
It's a close. It's almost right, but what you actually see in you go in there to open it.
Yes.
What you actually inside is mold.
Ew!
There is
Or-
food that
I'd say
is
snacks are subpar.
The snacks are lame. How dare they? How dare they advertise it as
The snacks are canceled.
Russell's gonna try and open the men's bathroom and see what happens.
Hold on a second.
I'm backing away from that, shaking my head. Traumatized.
What's
by
wrong,
getting face to
Vasily?
face with mold.
By the way, this is what the conference.
Let me see. Oh,
That looks normal. Oddly normal, if I'm honest.
It looks like there's a thing which goes like further back over here.
Yeah, you can go there.
I go like over here to look.
Yeah. Hold on. Okay, you're opening up the men's bathroom.
Yep. Gonna see if it opens at all.
It does open. It's got a sink.
What the heck is that in the middle?
That's a lamp
Russell looks confused.
hanging down from the
It's attached to the ceiling.
attached to the ceiling.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, is he just sitting there in the middle of the... What the fuck?
So I'm gonna open the stall.
Don't do it.
Is it clean?
Ta-da!
It's a toilet.
Huh.
And I find it funny because the bathrooms, you got men's, you got women's, and you got Invisible Man?
Disabled, I think.
No, he's not in a wheelchair. It's just... It looks like one of the... Can you just walk closer to that and see what's on that sign? Because if it's what I think it is, this is going to be weird.
Hold on.
Is that like the? It's like the upside down question marks in fucking SpongeBob when he goes to.
No, it looks like it might be like an executive bathroom? Question mark?
Huh.
The
It looks
biggest.
like one of the hat guys.
This looks normal. I'm gonna flush the toilet. Let's see what happens. See if it's actually a
And
working
it
toilet.
flushes fine.
Huh. This is normal. Odd. What? Everything else is plastic but the bathroom.
Even weird reality bending monsters gotta pee.
This is strange. Russell thinks to himself.
Right.
Hold on a second.
So what is the third? Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, there
I
you
know.
This is so weird.
You know what I think it looks like to me?
What?
It looks like a man with a suit and a top hat, or like a hat on.
Men, women.
The Monsieur.
Monsieur. Fancier bathroom.
Hats.
That,
It's the fucking bathroom for the guys in charge.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm kicking that door in. Like, surprise, bitch.
That's a wise decision.
Alice has gone over here. She's looking at the security system, but it's this door.
Yeah, I was about to say, Russell, go help her with that. You're the
I'll
one that's
give you a
saying that
hand.
shit.
I'm gonna stick around and see what's in the special bathroom.
Hold on a second.
I think
We're
it's just
splitting up.
She says, "Holy shit!"
What is it?
So it opens up. She
Huh.
moves here. You guys can see that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a second. You know, I set all this up, and it's still
He doesn't want to cooperate.
no. It's just a pain in the ass. So she's looking down this hall, and this is what you see. This hall, if you look in the chat, this hall goes to the meeting room. But what you're actually seeing is a surveillance system.
Oh. Oh.
What the hell?
So this is like the room where you can watch what's going on in the meeting room.
Yeah.
Russell follows her.
It's like some kind of recording studio.
It's not very
Secret. No.
Oh, let's see if they have any pictures. Actually, I'm waiting for the bathroom.
Yeah, I was about to say, I want to see if this bathroom's normal or what the fuck's going on in this hat's bathroom.
Yep.
It's a normal bathroom.
I'm hoping if there's not a toilet behind this door, I'm going to be startled.
It's a dimensional vortex behind that
If
door.
it's a dimensional vortex, I'm gonna flip shit.
Do you open the door?
Yes.
The Tartarus. Of course.
Dun,
What the fuck is that?
Seriously?
It's stairs!
Yes. We have to ascend.
Whoa.
Guys, I found the way up!
Do they also go down?
Ascend. Ascend
Alright.
to the heavens.
I know the Truman Show over there is kind of freaky, but I found the stairs.
Your toilet is only ascension. You will reach nirvana through pooping. By pooping, you lighten the load, the burden on your ass to allow you to ascend. This is all deep metaphors.
I see. Only the biggest brains would understand that.
This is a galaxy brain level thing, man.
As Jules
Alright.
pokes her head back out into the hall and is just like, would you guys hurry up?
Russell nudges Alice to come.
Yeah.
As they get a better look at the conference room one last time before... Yeah, that's just freaky. That's just... Yeah, that's Truman Show
Yeah.
freaky.
Alice is.
On the way out, do you think these fake people would worry if I stole one of those nice chairs?
Lastly, please, focus on the goal at hand.
I'm
You know
just
what?
thinking.
As much
you
as I
know,
appreciate you wanting to embrace
Alice
your
is
inner
saying
larcenist,
we all survive. I could really use a nice spinny chair for my room. I'm just
I
saying. I'm
agree.
going
That's-
out.
Lastly-
I take one too.
What happened to
lastly,
Teach?
that's...
Where'd she go? Where'd that girl go?
Lastly, just... what girl?
Don't worry about
The teacher, the secretary girl.
I mean, she either got taken through those doors or what, but...
For all we know, they ate her.
Russell,
What? I'm just calling it how it is.
we'll get that figured out. For right now, we have to focus on task at hand. Because, lastly, we save the world first, and then we'll commit larceny, okay?
Oh, I agree. I was thinking about the future after we've saved the world. Exactly.
Right.
Don't go stealing people's chairs. Guys,
Oh,
come on.
come on, Russell. Alice, come on,
That's
come on,
my
we're
fault. What if they're not people?
I don't
Whatever.
care. Still,
Alice,
they're
come
out
on, we're ascending through the bathroom.
there. Why do I
As
have
weird
to
as that
be the
sounds.
You guys are going up the stairs.
Yes, we are.
Alice, come
At
on.
the top, there is a door here.
Is it locked?
No, it is opened.
I'm going to open it and peer in.
And this is
Feels
where we
though
will
we should
stop.
stop.
Damn it!
it. Yeah, that's a good place to stop.
I mean, think of it this way, if I hadn't noticed that, then...
There is a hall.
Oh, it's a nice hallway.
That's a
Oh, dear.
nice hallway. It's dark and spooky.
But yeah, I'm glad I noticed that different sign. It's just like, wait a minute, if one of these things is not like the other, what's in here? It's the stairs!
Spooky, scary hallways and shivers down
Darkness,
your
darkness,
spine.
Right.
Darkness, darkness.
Don't
But
su- don't summon
we got
her.
figured out.
Don't summon her. She'll want to be ravaged by monsters.
Darkness.
Right, well... yeah, I think that's a good place to leave it off for right now. Joel's found stairs in the bathroom! Where did they go? Tune in next time!
This is one way to ascend.
I'm
It's a
glad you
legit
guys
cliffhanger.
like my my map.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's very interesting. I
It's
love it.
very, very nice.
It's like photorealistic if you look from far away. It's too weird.
It's scary, but I love it.
Cool. All right. Well,
And next time we'll pick up with Sarah and
yes.
Taylor,
we'll start with-
which
we'll
I
pick up with-
I feel like you took the most time on this thing because this is what you had prepped and you were not ready for me to just introduce a whole new Wonderland excursion.
Well,
Well,
I,
well,
didn't-
you're,
I didn't see it coming, but it's a legit move. So
Yeah. Like,
it's not
don't
gonna.
worry, we caused Wonderland to
Yeah,
happen.
Taylor's just like, what do you believe in?
I am-
Sarah's just like, come with me and you'll see!
come with me to a world of imagination.
Okay, well,
I'm just like, Sarah just comes in a Willy Wonka outfit, just like, come with me to a world of imagination.
I need to draw that now. Oh my
Please
god.
do. Please draw this please draw this dorky, dark-haired nerd wearing a Willy Wonka outfit, saying "Welcome to a world of imagination." Anyway.
I'll see if I can get that done before next time.
So
But until
anyway.
then,
Yep. So anyway, we'll see y'all next time for some more Wonderland shenanigans. Hopefully next week instead of Who know? Instead of 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
Chaos.
We shall see. But until then, live on, play strong, and roll out.
All right.
Let
Good night.
me
Destruction.
Great.
ending stream.